Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gore Reviews. I am Gore Beast. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up below. Leave me a comment. Share this video if you think that it's worth sharing. And also subscribe to my channel so that when I post new content, you get that alert on your phone or on your computer so that you can see my new videos when I post them. As I'm recording this, there is a nor'easter blowing through, and it's very, very strong winds, a little bit of snow, flurries really, but it's not amounting to anything. That was your weather update for today. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the reviews. First item up for review is Brian Keene's Hole in the World. This is a prequel, I almost said sequel, prequel to his novel The Lost Level, and also Return to the Lost Level. As I understand it, there will be other books in this series at a future date, but those are the ones released so far. Now, Hole in the World is a prequel, as I mentioned, but it's also a standalone novel. It's a very quick, fun read, and this beautiful hardcover is from Thunderstorm Books. If you don't know Thunderstorm Books, you should check them out. They put out really, really good stuff. A little pricey, but if you're a book collector and into the horror genre, especially, then you should check them out and see what kind of stuff they have. This book is not really horror, I wouldn't say. There are definitely horrific things that occur in the book, but it's more of like a kind of like a weird adventure similar to like the show Land of the Lost. There are dinosaurs. Spoiler alert. It's not really a spoiler. But that kind of gives you an idea what you're in for. A shuttle bus of people in a thunderstorm are magically whisked away to a strange land, which is the Lost Level, and it's basically a dumping ground for all these different timelines where things kind of get left there and lost. So there's all kinds of things like strange technology and strange creatures and animals and plant life. It's really good stuff. You should definitely check that out, and as well the other books in the series and anything else that Brian Keene has written over the years. There's a lot of novels. You should definitely hit him up online on Twitter and Facebook and other social media, I suppose. And he also has his website, briankeene.com, and go there and check out his list of published novels, and you should see if anything strikes your fancy, because he is a great writer. More of like a majority of the time, he's more like a pulp writer, if you know what that is. Like creature features almost, but well written characters, and you'll have a good time with anything he writes. But you should definitely check out Hole in the World. I'm not sure if that's getting released in a paperback edition. I can't imagine that it wouldn't. But right now, only this hardback is available, and it may be, they may have sold out of them by now. I'm not sure. You could check Thunderstorm Books' website and see if there's any remaining, but I gotta tell you, I have no idea. So with that, yeah, check that out. Read it. I think everyone would enjoy that. It's a fun little romp. Nothing too heavy. Light read. So with that, we'll move right along to the next item, and that will be not really so much a movie review. I'm actually going to just review the release itself. And if you're paying any attention at all to the screen right now, there's a huge glaring clue. And of course, I'm talking about the Criterion Criterion release of Night of the Living Dead. Now, if you've never seen Night of the Living Dead and you're a horror fan, I don't even know what to say, and I'm not going to scold you, but wow, dude, you need to see it. Obviously, it's George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, the film that ushered in the modern zombie as we know them. Before that, they were more like voodoo curse, people brought back to life as like slaves under like control of some mad scientist or some such. Well, this movie changed all that, where now they're just mindless walking corpses with a thirst for human flesh. Monumental film, and obviously I can't review the movie itself. That's been done a billion times, and you if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. But I will review the actual Criterion release, and it is magnificent. The picture on this is unmatched. It has never, ever looked this amazing. The sound is great. Now, the sound isn't, you know, if when it was initially recorded, there were a lot of limitations on sound recording, so it does suffer from that, but it still sounds fantastic. But the picture itself is flawless. They did such a wonderful, wonderful job with this transfer, and if you're a fan of this film and you're on the fence because you've bought the VHS, the multiple DVD releases and Blu-ray releases and foreign editions and all that, and you've spent so much money on it over the years, who cares? You buy this, you don't need any other edition. There's also a lot of special features packed with stuff. I'm not even going to go ahead and mention any of that. It doesn't need to be mentioned. It speaks for itself. When you see the disc, you'll be pretty happy with that. But even if it had nothing on it, it's still worth it for this transfer of the film, because it will never be matched. This movie will never look better, and I would argue with anyone who tries to say that that's not true. You have to pick this up. Even if you're not into the whole zombie craze, if you're just a film person, you will find something of value in this film for its place in cinematic history. So please, please, please pick this up. It's worth it. I cannot sing its praises enough. So I have one more thing that I'm going to talk about, and obviously if you follow my channel at all, you know that normally I do a book, a movie, and a music review, and I'm going to follow that format today with a brand new release that was just put out today by a very popular underground rapper. Even though he flirts with the mainstream a little bit, but he's still considered underground because he's independent, and I'm talking about Tech Nine. His newest release, Planet, I was listening to it actually just before I started recording this, and I gotta say, I'm very happy with it. His last couple albums, while still good, have been just kind of like throwaway. Like, yeah, it's same old Tech, yeah, sounds like the last album. This album, it hit me a little harder. The songs, it's different for him because the songs are shorter. Typically his songs are, average like between 4 and 5 minutes. On this album, they're averaging about 3 minutes, so a little shorter on the runtime on the songs, and I think the album actually benefits from that. And I'm usually one to say that I like longer tracks, so for me to say that is odd. But for this album, I think it works, especially if you know anything about Tech Nine. He's a very fast rapper, like a speed rapper, you could say. And so you don't need long songs because he's saying so much in such a short time that you're kind of just wasting time if the tracks get too lengthy, if that makes any sense. So I think the shorter format works for this. And I pretty much liked every song on the album. There wasn't really anything that I was like, which his last couple albums have been hit or miss with the tracks themselves. Like some tracks really stand out and some are kind of but this album is like solid pretty much all the way through. I was very happy with it. So if you are a Tech Nine fan and like me, you've been kind of on the fence about his last couple albums, you should definitely check this one out. I don't think you'd be disappointed. And if you don't know any of Tech Nine's music, this would be a good starting point. It doesn't really fully represent what he's about. It kind of does, but I think you should dig into his older stuff a little bit to kind of get a feel for his style and everything like that. So if you don't know any of his music, I mean, of course you could pick this up and you could like it, but I would suggest you also get a few of his older albums as well to kind of get a real feel of his style. That'll about wrap it up for today. So, again, this is GOREbeast for GOREviews. Please give this video a thumbs up at the bottom and share this video around on social media. And also please subscribe to my channel so that you get alerts when I post new content. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.